Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Dr. Hage Geingob Stadium for what is the MTC Maris Cup final. A beautiful day here in Windhoek. While the rain might drizzle just a little bit, but the pitch is in excellent conditions. Only 2 spots of sand I see, but it won't be an issue as the conditions are quite excellent. This is a tournament that MTC has graced the football realm of Namibia. It's a very young tournament, the first of its kind. So the winners today will be honored with the privilege of being the first winners. It might not seem like history just yet, but history has been made for these two teams. But it will be a sad thing for one of these two teams at the end of the day. Thank you all for joining us live for a more personal commentating section here on YouTube, African Stars TV. Tell your football friends and family, you know how it is. Tell your football friends and family that we are live on YouTube for a very, very important game. And of course, my name is Emmanuel Nkara. I do represent African Stars, but my goodness, it's just a lovely thing to see cup football in a final. I was present for African Stars during their campaign in the Champions League. Didn't commentate that game, unfortunately, but today it's all for the marbles. $1.5 million for these two teams up for grabs. Let's go through the starting lineups. We're going to start with the Marine champions, African Stars. Charles Hambira, number 5, always trustworthy. Number 12, Edmund Kambanda. Goalkeeper, Kasetura Lukaku is back in goals after a little bit of a scary injury. Katua Ngero, Stiga, our captain. Malane, back from Lesotho. Rika, number 15, Mujua. Number 18, Vitapi Ngaruka. Number 10, Awilo Willie Stefanus. Number 27, Bakonja Chahikika. At number 21, Joseph Ibrahim Tuja. Number 23, Gasep. Number 11, Paulus. Number 7, Godwin. Number 2, Gianluca. Number 6, Maharero. Number 14, Javera. Number 13, Shatindi. Number 20, Jomo Chiveta. Number 17, Dion Dennis makes up the substitutes for the Red Army for Benny Hausep. I will go through the starting lineup for Young Africans soon enough, but we start with a foul from Ngero Katua. That's how the games always begin. First blood shed against the Red Army. For Young African, the goalkeeper, Moses Makhe. Number 5, Naftali. Number 3, the captain, Kahingji. The ball comes in, and it's left to the box. It's still in the box, but it's cleared, only partially. Willow will sort it out. Bakonja able to stretch his legs there, but almost a chance. Nothing doing. And the game is in the hands of Young African. This is a hot game, ladies and gentlemen. The stadium is 70% full. Don't be fooled by the far stadium that seems to be empty. This game is highly watched. And there's a chance for across the box. Luckily, not falling to any young African player, but it's still in the hands of the green team. Header out there from Garuka. And Katua trying to clear, but it's in the hands of Kalen. Kalen puts it down the box, but Garuka does well to fend it out. Wow. Already some interesting moments here from the team from Khobabes. To finish off that starting lineup for young African, number 14, Deacon, number 33, the man from South Africa, Mathopa, number 12, Al Ali Jr., number 10, who put in that cross on the right wing, another player from South Africa, Kalane, number 27, Charlie Kaye, as a foul is given against the attacking player on Ngaruka. Number 15, Roman Brandt, number 8, Karupanda, and number 11, Kava Bura. So that is the starting lineup for Coach Mali Garizimo. Rika just trying to find Juja, but Juja is too far left. And as we know, the top three, but Juja gets the ball. I think he should take a shot. He's going to. And it's, wow, just closely off target. But a good attempt just for him to clear his legs and say, let me take this attempt. Juja's on the left, Awilo on the right wing, and the furthest man forward will be Bakonja Chahikika. Kambanda. He's up against Kalane. Does well to find always reliable Charles Ambira, who finds Ngaruka. Tabang Malane, who's back in the lineup after some personal issues back at home in Lesotho. He just got taken off the ball there. And a foul is still given to African Stars. So condolences to Tabang Malane. But he is back doing what he loves best with his friends and family, of course, maybe watching live. Bakonja. Awilo. Let's see what tricks and flicks he can pull out in such an important game. Of course, Willie Stefanos was in the national team makeup against Malawi and Equatorial Guinea. So Colin Benjamin has made a smart decision about bringing the Golden Boot winner and player of the season last season, Willie Stefanos, back into the national team makeup. Here's Tigao, captain. Juja with a good turn. He can find the through ball to Malane. It's an easy one. He takes the shot. It's on target. But it was an easy through ball to the right. I mean, even me, as a former footballer, would have done an easy job to find that through ball. And Coach Benny Ausep is on the touchline, shouting at Juja, asking him just that, but also giving him a round of applause for getting into the game. Kasetura Lukaku, who of course took that nasty head injury in the game against the previous game that African Stars played in the Deb Marine Premiership against Ongos FC. But he's back. He would never want to give up this opportunity to play in the final. And while Young African had 2 game weeks, the team from Khobabes, game week 12 and game week 13, African Stars only played game week 12, so only 1 game between the the semi-final and this final was against Ongos, a 0-0 scoreline. So the Red Army has had more rest than the Kettle Boys. The ball's in the box. It will be cleared, and it's in the hands of the number 12, Ali Jr. Just giving it back to African Stars. Here comes Ngaruka. Trying to find Juja. Too much for that. Good header out. Stiga will recycle the play. He was being caught there from Lalin. That ball is too much for Kambanda from Awilo. But in the first 6 minutes of the game, you will give a nod to African Stars. They have had more opportunities, more passage of play. But there is a player on the ground here for Young African, and he tried to confirm his number and name. I do believe it would be one of these strikers, and that looks like a hamstring. But yes, indeed, this is the MTC Maris Cup. My name is Emmanuel Nkora. As always, you can never not tell me to come to a final like this. Such an important thing. The runner-up will get taxi money home, and the winner will get $1.5 million. Yeah. So what would you want? Taxi money home or $1.5 million? If you want the $1.5 million, make sure your team wins the game. The player who received that tackle was number 11, Kava Bura, but he will be able to re-enter the pitch shortly. Moses Makhe, the goalkeeper for Young African, just clearing it, but it was headed out from Kambanda, so it's in the hands of Naftali. Thrown back to Stars. Stiga, captain our captain, Ronald Keshiere. And it must be a sigh of relief to have Malane back on that right wing. He is onside. He will put the cross in. Almost a great header there from Ibrahim Joseph Juja. Katua did well to recycle. Malane will have another chance to put it in. Oh, he does excellently. That's why we need him back in the team. Oh, he almost had his own opportunity there. But those roars, those claps, those cheers from the Red Army are all for Tabang Malane, the right back. One of the best football players in the league. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. He has brought another dimension of football. Sometimes he even can play in the midfield. But here comes Bura. But Garuka does well, the strongest man in the league, taking the ball off Bura. Stiga. And this is exactly what I've talked about. Stiga, if you watch him, he always tends to come to his right side of the field, looking for the player like Malane to thread passes with. Rika, he's in the box! Is that a foul? That's a foul. It's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate there, as Rika Butua had an opportunity, but perhaps he bundled over the player. Oof, ladies and gentlemen, this game is not going to be cold. It's going to be hot from the kickoff. Oh, beautiful touch there from Kambada to find Gero. Good work there from Gedo. He played almost a man of the match performance in the previous game against Ongos FC. And he's showing to be playing, solidifying that midfield role, the number 4 from African Stars. Here's Rika. Awilo goes to the back post. But Juja won't get that ball. So far, it's in the hands of African Stars. And the story of this game is that a dynasty will either establish themselves as the greatest and richest football club in the country, or a new formidable force will be created from Kettle Town. And ladies and gentlemen, there's more to the story. Juja only needs to do. Oh, what a beautiful save. What a beautiful save from Moses Mate. As the ball was chipped over from Willie Stefanus, already going into his bags of tricks, and that's a nasty foul. That might be a yellow card there for the South African Kalane. Apologies, the number 5, Naftali. A hard challenge on Kambanda. Kambanda is fine to continue. But wow, what an opportunity there for Joseph Ibrahim Juja. He did everything correctly. The ball was lofted over the top of the defender. And it's just a beautiful save from Moses Make. Free kick to be taken from Starboy Chahikika. Back post. Juja. Oh, could he have not headed it on goal? Malane is not naturally left-footed, but he still finds Bakonja. He kept it in, but he gives it now back to Mbura. And the change of the ball has brought it to the left wing for Young African. And it's out for a goal kick. Coach Benny Hausep maybe looking to Ibrahim Joseph Juja, just saying, you are doing well, my brother. It's always a beautiful day when Juja gets into the game. Sometimes he can be left out at times, but here he is again. Maybe he should just win the corner. He has Katua with him, but he puts in the cross. Rika, bad first touch for the box-to-box midfielder. And not connecting well there with Malane. Rika there. Good cross from Juja. Just as I said, it's a beautiful game when Ibrahim Yosef Juja gets involved. And I must remind you, he has the best aerial ability. I'm always saying best, and our players are the best of this and the best of this. But when you are back-to-back champions, what can you say? Rika gives it back to Deacon. Here's Naftali. Naftali tried to find Bura, but Garuka clears well to Kambanda. Kambanda pressured there from Kalane and just doing the sensible job and kicking it out for a throw-in. Kalane, Naftali. Oh, beautiful tackle there from Kambanda. But good clean-up work there from the number 12, Eli Jr. And the reason why I say one dynasty versus an upcoming dynasty is because Young African is undefeated so far this season. When the ball rolled at the beginning of the season, until today, Young African have not been defeated. It's a very good stat for the team from Kobabas and for Coach Mali Zimo. And interesting enough, these two teams will see each other next week in the Debmarine Premiership game at the Independence Stadium. We are, of course, at the Dr. Hagi Gagop Stadium here, but just next door, next week, the 1st of April, African Stars versus Young African. And whoever wins this game will have big bragging rights, big pockets of money in next week's game. So there might be some blood. And the Debmarine Premiership is also a league that a lot of money has to be won. So it will be African Stars versus Young African, the number 1 and number 2. Bakonja. That's a corner, the first corner of the game will be taken from African Stars. So yes, indeed, next week, put a reminder in your phones. It will be number 1 versus number 2 in the Debmarine Premiership. But here, it's the MTC Maris Cup for all the marbles. Bakonja with the corner. Headed out there from the number 14, Deacon Awilo. That's a goal! That's a goal! Money maker Awilo Willie Stephanus putting one hand on $1.5 million. That's how it's done, boy. The wizard, Willie Awilo Stephanus, the wizard. He's old enough to be a wizard now, Willie Stephanus. So give him his props where it's due. 1-0 to African Stars in the MTC Maris Cup at the Dr. Hagi Gagop Stadium. What more can you say? First blood drawn by the Red Army. It was a beautiful shot. And as you can just hear the announcer saying, $1.5 million is on the cards today. Just reminding the young African players that, gents, African Stars are a team of class. If you do not stop them in the first half, give them something to think about in the first half, class will always prevail. And what more than the classiest player, Awilo Stephanus, there he is, just playing his own football. He has changed flanks with Juja. Juja has now gone to the right, and Awilo is now on maybe his more customary left wing. But it was a beautiful shot from him. He was confident enough to take a shot amongst so many players in front of him. And he's even put a nice header there for Kambanda. And that's a throw-in. That should be a throw-in to African Stars, but given to Young African. Supporters are still flooding into the stadium. So from 70%, it's now maybe to 80% capacity. One 0 to African Stars. Willie, the wizard, Awilo Stephanus in the 17th minute. Apologies. Here's Ngero Katua doing well. Good ball retention there from Katua. He's really showing his level of football in the last 3 to 2 games. Stiga Rika, your change play. Beautiful pass. Steven Gerrard pass. Naftali takes the ball off Stefanos, but Stefanos gets the ball back. And Stefanos beats another player. He finds Bakonja. Bakonja lost it. And Naftal cannot capitalize. Throw in to African Stars. And the young African players just shouting amongst each other, trying to gain some confidence. Such an important amount of money here on the line. Kambanda. And that's a foul. Gero Katua there just impeding the player. And I do call him the craziest man, but sometimes you need a player that is willing to do everything and anything to stop play. Oh, overhead kick. Comfortably saved by Lukaku Kasetura. Stiga, pressure. Hambira. Back to his goalkeeper. And perhaps Ambira will just have to come to this left wing. He comes back into the center play with his captain, and his captain will go long, trying to find Juja. Juja will get that ball. Who's at the back post? Rika is there, but safely cleared from the captain. Kanji. Kayenji, apologies. Here come young African. What can they do with the ball in the midfield? It's gone to the right back, Naftal. Just given back to the Red Army, and it was sound advice to young African to be not overzealous. They need to play the game just as a normal game. Do not think about the money that is on the line. Katua. Oh, beautiful pass. This guy's playing football, man. Awilo. Kambanda. They know each other very well. Oh, his left foot headed out there from the defender. Stiga winning the ball back beautifully. Oh, that's beautiful midfield work there from Katua. Stiga, he might take a shot himself, but he goes to Malane. And Juja might have had a chance. Stiga! Off target. But the Red Army in attendance still like it. They're liking what they are seeing. This is perhaps too much for the boys from Khobabas. They will literally change the trajectory of their football club if they can win this $1.5 million. Or the dynasty of Namibian football will stay intact with the Red Army of African Stars. But for a team like Young African from a small town like Khobabas, let me not say a small town, but $1.5 million will change so much for the club. They've made many signings. But they've actually sold a few players, actually. They've sold two players to Chula Chula, two national team players in Penda Smoky Mungandi and Petrus Kamati. Both players signed by Chula Chula. So Chula Chula is also becoming a force now. But what a loss for Coach Mali Garizimo to lose two players of those caliber. And both of those players actually scored in this MTC Maris Cup. But they have also made signings. The number 10, Kalane from South Africa, and the number 33, who just makes a pass now there. Mathepa, here's Kalane. Here's Ali Jr., who's doing well. Kalane now, the South African. Ali Jr. cleans up. He's doing well, this number 12, Ali Jr. But that's a good tackle there from Gero Katua. And he tells his opponent, hey, like as he saw. Header on there from Kalane, but it's still up in the air. Stiga comes back to Naftali. He puts it to the back of the box. But that is offside. In fact, the first offside of the game for both teams, in fact. So good play there from Young African. It seems that this passage on the right wing between Kalane, the number 10, and the number 5, the right back, Naftali, seems to be a teacher. He couldn't capitalize. It looked like he was fouled, or at least impeded. He has gotten up, so he's not injured in any way. But what a chance. Back post. Oh, that's a foul against African Stars. So a little bit of a respite here. And of course, the other signee for Young African is in fact the goalkeeper, Moses Tabo Make. So the three new signings, the goalkeeper, the number 33, Matepa, and the number 10, Kalane, are the three new signings for Young African. But perhaps too many signings for a starting lineup has changed the makeup for Young African. They have drawn 4 games in a row in the Debmarine Premiership, which is an interesting stat line. Their last win was 5 games ago. And of course, a 1-1 draw against Tigers and a 1-1 draw against Ongos FC. So perhaps the team has had a few changes. They're starting to realize that they could be a title challenging team, and maybe that mentality is a little bit too much for certain teams. So teams like Komas Nampo, who are also playing today, the 29th of March, will be looking at this game to say, these are the guys that also want to challenge for the Debmarine Premiership. Free kick comes in, but it's a foul on the Stars player. But they've done well, Young African. They've represented Kobabis very well. Still have faith in your team. There's a long way to go in this game. And I'm sure you know some of the players, so if they happen to win, you can SMS some of the people that you know in the team and say, Rosa, you wallet me some money there. Ha, that's a joke. Kasikura, he finds Malane. That should be a foul. He was clearly impeded there. It was a beautiful through ball from the goalkeeper. And that's just what Tabang Malane, the right back for African Stars, can bring to the game, overlapping like that. But I believe he was pulled back. Really looked like it. But here's Stefanus. Naftali. Ali Jr. Beautiful through ball there. Kalane in the hands of Lukaku. He's a good footballer, the number 12, Ali Junior Chatindi. We'll call him Ali Junior for the remainder of the game. The number 12 is on this right side of the central midfield. That should be offside, and it is. He's been working well with Kalane on this right wing, so most of the play still on this right flank for Young African. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 30 minutes into the game, but I can tell you that 3 substitutions, yes, 3 substitutions are about to be made for Young African. Wow. 30 minutes into the game, 3 players are about to enter the game. That's a bold move from Coach Mali Garizimo. It will be the number 9, Denzel Narib, who I believe should have started the game. He's scored quite recently for Young African. Denzel Narib, he will be entering as Hambira has just put under pressure. Stiga needs to clean up. He's been taken off the ball, and here's a chance for Young African. Charles Hambira with a tackle, and it's a good block. Rika Malane clears his lines. Oof. And every now and then, African Stars open a can of worms for themselves. You do not want to make mistakes like that in a $1.5 million game. Clear the ball. But still, very interestingly so, 3 substitutions are about to be made for the team in green. And here are the substitutions. Denzel Narib coming off for Kava Bura. Number 28, Leroy Adams, will also enter the game. And wow, a player that has been playing well, Kalane on this right wing, is also the other player, the third player coming off. Very interesting. And the number 7, Ferdinand Bina, the player with the yellow hair, is coming on. So all 3 players not going to their coach for a handshake. Yeah, that's what happens when you substitute me with only 30 minutes in the game. Very interesting. But those 3 players are very much attacking players. Tahikika Awilo. Very important block there, as that ball was shot with real urgency there from Awilo. Wow. Interesting times here in this MTC Maris Cup final. 3 substitutions from the team trailing 1-0 to African Stars. And Coach Benny Housep, I call him coach, some call him an interim coach. As a sign of respect, I call him coach. He has a 1-0 advantage, and he seems to be making his opponents think long and hard about their tactics. Malane, Rika, take a shot. Aye. Off target. And talking about shots off target and on target, 35 minutes in the game, 36 minutes in the game, Young African have not had a shot off target or a shot on target. Not even a corner. But in these cup games, that doesn't matter. The most important stat is the stat on the top left corner of your screens. And that stat is still in the hands of African Stars. 1-0. A goal scored by Awilo. And that's a chance for the South African. It's given as a goal kick. Wow. Even for me, I thought that was a corner at least. But the number 33, Matopa, the South African, just beating one player, taking a shot which looked like it was deflected off an African Stars player, but given as a goal kick. Malane. Good 1-2 between him and Awilo. Couldn't find another pass. Cleared from the captain. Kasetura had to be sure. Here's Adams. Header from Ambira. Foul. Good foul. One day from Matopa. Just a chance here maybe for Young African to interrupt play, give African Stars something to think about with this free kick. It will be the South African Matopi, Mira, Matapa, Mathopa. It's a tongue twister, but they call him Mira as a nickname. He's joined by the number 15. It's a shot just over the crossbar by Mira. It's a defensive midfielder, the South African, alongside Ali Jr. and Leroy Adams will probably be the furthest man in that attacking midfield play, the substitute. Denzel Narib, the number 9, leading the line. Header on there. Here's Denzel winning a corner. The first corner of the game for Young African. Young African don't have too many players that are tall. Probably just the number 14, the central defender, Deacon. He is in the box. Oh, and it found the South African Mira. And he's hitting the ground in disappointment. Can give that as a shot or a chance off target. But he's getting into the game now, Mira Mathopa. Malane. He needs to be smart. He loses the ball now to Denzel Narib. But Garuka is there to clean up. He's still being pressured. And no foul given. Chance. And Adams couldn't play on. That's onside. That's Awilo. That's Bakonja. That's his left foot. That's a shot. And that's off target. Highly unfortunate. I just knew he was going to take a chance with his left foot on the volley. But he couldn't keep it down. Offside. African Stars there on Awilo. The man who has given African Stars the lead in the 17th minute. A shot from outside the box. The goalkeeper put a hand to it, but it was strong enough to beat him to go into the back of the net. Here's Leroy Jr. doing well. Matopa loses the ball, and that's a beautiful through ball. This is Awilo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my brother. You have to think about it. Wow. Willie Awilo, the wizard Stephanus, couldn't do the simple task of putting that at least on target. He booted it over the crossbar. And those are the chances. Those are the chances that Coach Benny Hausep will remember. And the referee just having a word with the captain, Kainji, the left-sided centre-back. He seems to be saying that certain decisions are going against his team. Ferdinand Obina does well. Stiga. Katua. Oh, beautiful pass, but he was fouled there originally. And the referee gives the foul to Young African, where I would have believed the first action was against Ngero Katua. Juja has also gone down, and he's holding his shin, perhaps his ankle, but I'm sure he will be able to continue. The free kick is taken quickly. Naftali, the right back, taking this free kick. It's low. It's chipped over to the back post. It's Obina, but Obina could not trap it in his feet. So that is a goal kick. It's been a long road to this final for both teams. African Stars, of course, beating Buccaneers in the semi-final in Marienthal 2-1. Juja coming back to the team, scoring a goal with Kambanda. And for Young African, it was a 3-0 victory against UNAM FC. No foul there. Good play between Malane and Bakonja. And that win for Young African was their only win in about control. That's what he does, the wizard. And he goes to the back post. That's a foul, Mr. Ref. It should have been an easy decision for the referee. I can't say I'm biased, but that looked like a foul on Bakonja. 2 minutes of added additional time. 2 minutes left in this first 45. Beautiful one touch from Awilo on this left flank, and he found star boy Chahikika. But I mean, on YouTube you can rewind and have a look at that. It looked like the captain Kayenje fouled Bakonja, but no free kick given. It would have been outside the box nonetheless, no penalty. Juja will try to keep this in, and at least he's done well to give a throw-in to Young African. Katua, cross into the box. Bakonja just flicked it on for Malani to catch onto. Garuka, I think he should put the cross in, but he finds Bakonja. Spin and a turn from him, very good play. Malane has time to think. Oh, that's across to Rika. It's headed from the captain Kayenji, and it's into the hands of Moses Make. Seconds left in this first half. A good showing from African Stars. Almost comfortable, if we can say. And that is the first 45 minutes. A round of applause from the Red Army here in attendance. A few players having words with the referee, young African players. But at the halfway mark in this MTC Maris Cup final, yes, Stalile, it is one, African Stars one, young African no. Stay tuned for the second half. 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MTC Maris Cup. I'm having a look at the VIP. I cannot say any names, but there are a lot of dignitaries, a lot of important people in football watching the game live here at the Dr. Hage Stadium. Of course, African Stars 1, Young African 0 so far in this game. African Stars are already on the pitch. The spectators are still making their way into the stadium. It's getting quite congested here. But don't worry, I'm safe. Just waiting for the 2017. That is the last time Young African had any stat recognizing a defeat or a victory over African Stars. So with a corner coming in from Bako for the team from Kobabas to beat the Debmarine champions. Chahikika. Oh, it's low. Awilo. Oh, off target. Training ground corner between the two players there. But not able to put it on target there. The wizard, Willie Stefanis. And it's almost at the time of the game. It's early in the second half.
That ball was wasted, but Tabang has done such a great job in this right wing. And for a man that is the size of Tabang, honestly, Imsi has definitely done well. And there we have Garuka, Tumbakonja, no foul given. Bakonja running. Oh, goalkeeper cleared. Yes. And Ims, when players go through what Tabang must be going through and being in another country and not with family and stuff, you would think that his game would go down. But as we continue to see, the boy is doing well.
Yes, indeed. Of course, many imports are coming from South Africa. Of course, we know of 2 for the team in green. Kalane, who sounds similar to Malane, the number 10, who was already substituted, and of course the number 33, Mira Matopa, who's on the ball now. who has been intercepted. Those are the two the two South Africans for Young African. Here he is now, Mira, finding the number 27, a substitute that has come into the game. No, apologies, that's Charlie Kaye, the left back. Here's Lukaku. Rika, easy pass. 1-2, beautiful football. He chopped over the ball. That's unfortunate. Throw into Young African. And in your picture, you can just see Coach Benny just asking the linesman, hey, what's going on? Obina, Mira, Ngaruka with some flair. It's not too often that you see some flair from the centre back. Charles Ambira, Malane. That's a bad tackle on Malane there. The referee didn't see it. Oh, and that's a hard tackle. That's going to be the first yellow card of the game. Surely. Definitely the first yellow card of the game. And Malane has also now received the yellow card. And I think it's because he was talking about the challenge that happened to him just before the foul was given. And I believe rightfully so. But don't argue into the referee's book, because now there might be a play where Coach Marley Garizimo can tell his players to maybe frustrate African Stars into getting yellow cards and such. And the referee is calling Charles Ambira to just have a word with him, maybe to just discuss how his players are doing. But the free kick will be taken by Mira. He goes to the far post. Juja doing some defensive work. Good defensive work there from Ibrahim Yosef. Adams. Oh, that ball was put in there from Naftal. Good tackle there from Stiga. Here's Adams again. Oh, it's a beautiful cross to Denzel Marvin, and it's a beautiful save. A beautiful save from Marvin Lukaku Kasetura. A beautiful cross from Leroy Adams, finding the danger man Denzel Narib. But Marvin Kasetura, Desiro would be so impressed with his understudy with a save like that. That's a highlight. We'll make sure that we send it to him. Still 1-0 to African Stars. And we know that Kasetura came back from injury. It's good to see him back in the lineup. Young African are starting to have some chances now, but how good is it to see the man back into the goalkeeper post?
Kasetura, Lukaku. Mind you, his name is Lukaku and he's a goalkeeper. I've probably known him since he was 16, and listen, this boy has grown into his game. And Ims, you are saying he was an understudy for Ndisiro. An understudy. I don't know about that one, because I know one time when I spoke with him, he was like, we are all here trying to compete for that starting position. But then you can see that man is pure class. There was a good save, and we can see that Young African is now trying to. They've earned themselves a penalty. Young African is being taken by Adams. Goal kick. There was good defense also by our captain Stika Keshere. And guys, if you are not here at the Hage Geingob Stadium, it's a great atmosphere. the Okatherandu folklore has come out in numbers. The stadium is red and white. But I don't know, Ims, if the Young African, with the whole saga that was going on, if they are also trying to play for that pride or just to say, hey, we know that there's a lot going on in our team, but we are here.
Of course, you will be talking about the certain issues that the coach or the ownership was put under, but most teams go through that every now and again in a season. They've done well. They've really done well. Beautiful play there from Willie Stefanos and Malane. Malane again. Oh, Awilo, play to the whistle. But yeah, it's still a here's Mira finding Brandt and Katua. Good pass to Bakonja. Stefanos. Aha. He can't round the player. Here's Adams now. And that's a throw-in to Young African. Sorry about the audio cutting in and out. We have just repositioned ourselves to be closer to the technical team. Garuka are the strongest man in the league. But it's caught out. And here's Ferdinand Obana. And that's a good tackle. A good intercepted tackle there from Garuka to earn the second corner for Young African in the second half. It will be taken from Ferdinand Obana. He goes into the hands of Maron Kasetura, who is a fan favorite here for the Red Army. They love him. And Juja couldn't find that pass to Awilo. So him back in the hands of Moses Make. Young African is coming back into the game. 2 early corners. And a very, very good save, a highlight save from Lukaku. So, Coach Mali would probably be encouraged of how his team has come out in the second half. Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul. It's a rough play there from Ngero. You will always get that from him. And he did not need to do that at this point in time because the confidence is still growing for the Kettle boys. Naftali to take this free kick. It goes to the back post. It's headed on from Deacon. And it's well off the crossbar. Juja, good tackle there from the captain. Kaenje, Malane, Stiga. And Stiga needs to be careful though, but he finds Awilo. Throwing to African Stars, although I would have thought that would have gone to Young African. Bakonja. Obina took that ball off Malane, but Garuka cleaned up well. And the captain, there's some bad challenges here from Young African, but it's in the hands of Ngero, who just calms down play very well. Well done there. A level head from Ngero Katua as challenges were starting to fly in there. Juja against two players. And the captain, Kaenji, is really playing a dangerous game by committing sneaky fouls that the referee is not seeing. And there was a hard challenge there from Katua. Yes, I saw that. The game is starting to get a little bit dangerous. And that is the number 12, Ali Jr. We don't want to see him go down, or the young African fans do not want to see him go down, as he has put in a good showing in the first half and so far in this second. So the medical team will just have to assess Ali Jr. So Wenji, just quickly, if we do win, if African Stars does win the 1.5, is there an e-wallet for me there or what?
Maybe for me also. But yes, we definitely need to hold on to this lead, Eames. We cannot let it go. We need the 1.5. We need the 1.5, and also just for that confidence booster. We really started slow in the league, but we are picking up, and I think we are just up with by a goal, by 1 point or two. Oh yeah, we actually draw with Young African. So winning this will definitely boost our confidence heading into this next part of the leg in the Deb Marine Premiership. And honestly, I'm surprised to see Young African, Juja. We are on attack now. Malan, Juja on the ball. We have Sika Keshere, lost it. Back on defense, offside. Yeah. Eames, just been watching Katwa there in the midfield. How do you think his game is in Katwa?
He's been playing quite brilliantly, as I've been saying throughout the first half. I call him the crazy man, but at some moments he has been so calm with the way he's been playing football. Ngero Katua, the number 4 for African Stars in that midfield. He's a tough player. I'm telling you, he can ride any challenge that any opponent gives to him. Malane goes to the back post, Awilo. But here he is, Ngero Katua, and he's putting on a show for somebody who might get a man of the match performance, but Awilo would probably say something different to that. Ambira goes long to find Malane, but Malane just getting the ball caught up with Ferdinand Ombona. Stiga cleaned up well. Rika does as well. And Rika has to go back to his goalkeeper, which he does successfully. And you can see in your picture now, Coach Mali Garizimo still on the touchline in his jacket, calling on to his players that, guys, this is our chance to change the fabric of our football club forever. It's not an understatement. If Young African can win this cup, it will change everything for them going forward. Here's Awilo. Juja couldn't catch the ball. Garuka with a very important clearance on the head. His clearance was blocked from Obina, but it is a throw-in to Stars. African Stars maybe just need to calm things down. They're playing into the fitness and the bravery of Young African. They need to have more of a level head, a classier approach to the game. Technically, they are the better team. Oh, that's a bad challenge. Like, you can't. And you can see Coach Benny with the ball in his hand, just asking the referee, what if Rika had to go down against the challenge like that? It's still a throw-in. to African Stars, but the challenges are flying in now. Oh, and it was given as a foul indeed. No yellow cards given to young Africans so far in this game. 2 yellow cards to African Stars, Rika Mujua and Tabang Malane. Garuka, Juja, Moses Make with a good save. And the referee now has stopped play just to come back to the goal line as one of the players took a knock to the head. It's Deacon. He's okay to continue, and young African just had a little bit of a counter attack, but the referee did African Stars a favor by just stopping the game there. Garuka needs to be careful. Juja. And he's clearly being fouled there, but my goodness. And the referee is saying that is a foul against Juja. He was clearly being the one being pulled back. And I think that was given as a handball, because what else could he have been doing? We don't want to see a red card here, especially for the team that's in the lead, African Stars, and it will make the game a very interesting one. Ogbonna with the cross back into the box. It's still there. It's Malane with the clearance. And it's calm, nervous heads at the back. Young African growing in confidence. Mira trying to find Ogbonna, but caught out from Kambanda. Stephanus. Wasted ball there. Naftali. And definitely, as I'm sure most of you are saying in the chat on YouTube, thank you for joining us live. We are still at the Hage Geingob Stadium. It hasn't rained yet. There are parts of Windhoek that have received rain, but the football gods have decided to be very generous here to say no rain for the duration of the game. But thank you for joining us live. Let us know what you think the final scoreline will be. I'm not a betting man, but I will probably say this scoreline will not stay the way it is now. 1-0 to African Stars against Young African. Something else is going to happen. And look at that tackle. Look at the tackle from Kai that almost slid the fourth official, and Coach Mali now is bumping the fourth official. That's a yellow card offense. He's having very disrespectful words to the fourth official here, who was almost trapped himself by the young African player. These tactics of very aggressive nature from young African. Hey, but you can't doubt them. It's 1.5 million on the line. Awilo puts one player on the ground, and that's a foul. That should be a foul given to young African Stars, but it's not. Gero Katua has the ball, and he's just comfortable with it. That's where he is with his football. He's so comfortable, and Juja cannot have the first touch. But wow, certainly some interesting calls here from the referee. She's a tough one. She's letting the game play out, but certain fouls need to be given. Garuka, Malane, first touch, not good enough. He tries to win the ball back, but it's here with Ali Jr. who goes wide. That's why he's the best player for Young African. And it's blocked from Kambanda, and that's the third corner of the second half for Young African. African Stars have had one corner in the second half. So, what can you say? And Awilo is putting his hands up, just still coming to the referee and saying, Ish, sister. Most of the time we say mister, but this time we say sister ref. Definitely Mrs. Ref or sister ref it is. Corner comes in to the back post. Juja, another defensive effort from him. Very good header again from Juja. It's a shot from Ali Jr., but it's well over the crossbar.
Ims, I'm not sure if you've seen that it's the women that are officiating this game. Again, congratulations to Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nani Ndaitwah, who is in charge for the next 5 years here in the land of the brave. And we see that the country is really out and about. You can see the parastatals are putting women in charge, but we are in attack. Kambanda, he just took it too far, and it was, he just took it a bit too far. Goal kick for Young African. But yes, as I was saying, we can see it's a woman officiating. Yeah, so it's good to see that women have come to the occasion. And though there are questionable fouls that are not called here, I think they are trying to control the game as best as they can.
Yes, indeed. And it was a beautiful through ball from Ngero Katua that found Kambanda on that overlapped left wing. But he couldn't keep it in. And what is this? That's a foul given to Young African, as Kambanda looked to be the player that went down. Wow. I think it's a simple foundation in football that if I have the ball and I'm taken off the ball and I fall down, then I think that the foul should be given to me. But Nafta puts it in the box. Kasetura came out to save it. Adams with a shot. It's blocked from Kambanda. And Gero brings the ball out. And that's a hard challenge. And what is it going to be, a yellow card for Ngero Kachua? And that's fair enough. He mustn't fight with the referee. And that's a headbutt by the captain. That's a headbutt from the number 3. That's a headbutt. I saw it. The goalkeeper Moses Kayeke is coming from his goal line to coming to the pitch, coming to the fight. No hands have been thrown, but I clearly saw a headbutt on Gero Katua. Gero is going to receive a yellow card. That's of course one thing that will happen. But it was a clear headbutt by the number 3, Kayenje, who has been doing small little fouls throughout the game. Sneaky, small little fouls throughout the game. And now the referee has a decision on the hands, as it was a clear headbutt. Rewind. 2 yellow cards. Awilo receives one as well. Awilo receives a yellow card. And Katua, but the number 3, the captain, I believe it is the number 14, Deacon, who will receive the other yellow card. But Kayenje, who is the last man, you can see him in your picture. The goalkeeper is about to take the free kick, but Kayenje, the captain for Young African, the number 3, watch him, ladies and gentlemen. Continue to watch him, and he was the player that gave the headbutt. He is the player that has had so many sneaky fouls throughout the game, not given by the referee. Free kick to be taken from Moses. It's over the crossbar, but what an interesting passage of play. Justice. Is there justice? Awilo has been given a yellow card for dissent. Katua, of course, given that yellow card for that sliding challenge. But we've seen challenges like that, and fouls were not given. Wow. The game continues though. Juja. He'll try to beat Mira. He does. He puts the cross in, but too far ahead for Awilo. Awilo's on the yellow card, so he needs to be careful. He does get the ball legally. Deacon. Here is Kayenje, the very angry captain of Young African. Charlie, Narib, Adams, Ali Jr. Caught out there from Malane. Malane finds, and that's clearly a foul. Is that not a foul? That is a foul. It's given to African Stars, and by my calculations, ladies and gentlemen, Young African have apparently only committed 2 fouls in the second half. Imagine. It is a substitution, as you can see in your picture. Jomo Chiveta, the number 20, will enter the game for Bakonja Chaihikika, Starboy. He had a better first half than the second half, Bakonja. And not to say that he's had a bad second half, but by his standards, he would have liked to be more involved on the chances on goal. But here comes the Greek salad, as he wishes to be called, Jomo Chiveta. Garuka to take the free kick. Ferdinand Obona just puts it on play for Denzel Narib. He tries to beat Charles Ambira, he does, and it's blocked. Well blocked from Gero Katua, who's, Benji is probably having the man of the match performance in this final. Narib, Awilo, down the line, but cleared by Deacon. It has been a tense game here at the Dr. Hagi Gengop Stadium. Even myself, I apologize for my emotion, but this is an African Stars TV platform. We are biased here. We will give credit where credit is due, but the game has lost certain aspects of respect. Joe Motiveta, Rika, just a little touch there from Rika, but he still loses the ball. He can't do that in that midfield, as he will have to win the ball back now. Here's Charlie Kahe. He puts it up into the air. Kasetura needs to look up. Oh, Garuka does well to chest it back to his goalkeeper, as Lukaku didn't know where the ball was. Good pressure there from Denzel Narib. Very surprised that he didn't start the game. The number 9 for Young African. He seems to be a troublemaker. Kainji can't find Brandt, and Romin Brandt, this number 15 on this left wing, really not having too much to say in this game. He was playing on the right wing in the first half. He's come to this left in the second, but still, it's a name that I haven't called too much. Jomo, he has the ball now. Awilo found him. Jomo! Shot or target from the Greek salad. And an interesting stat, Jomo has the chance to win the top goal scorer in this tournament, as he has 2 goals in the MTC Maris Cup. If he can score another goal, you'll have 3 goals to his name, and that will definitely win him 20,000 Namibian dollars. Of course, Awilo, who scored a goal just now, we will have to check our stats if he's had a goal. I'm pretty sure he's had a goal throughout this tournament, so Awilo has 2 goals to his name as well. So it's between those two who wants to win the 20,000 Namibian dollars for top goal scorer of this tournament. It will be Awilo to take this free kick. It's very far out. It's the wizard Awilo. It's low, but the captain Kayenji with an important block. Still 1-0 to African Stars, but it's getting a little bit nervy, and 2 substitutions are being made for African Stars. It will be Ibrahim Yosef Juja, who played very well in the first half, and Rika Munjua coming off for Maharero and Isep. So Juja, who was an attacking player, Mujua, a midfield player, 2 midfield players coming onto the pitch now. So that is a sign, a tactic from Coach Benny to say, guys, let's just ride out the remainder of this game. If we get another goal, we can get another goal. But with 2 midfielders coming on, of course, Godwin is more attacking. It's important for the scoreline to stay the same. Awilo tries to find Jomo. Isep is there. He goes long. Jomo. Maharero. Isep. Good defensive work there from the captain, Kayenje. But he loses the ball out. And you see that challenge. You see that sliding challenge there from Kayenji. The number 3, the captain. And he's still arguing. What if one of those challenges finds the player's feet? Could be a dangerous challenge. In our picture, you can just see Coach Benny Hausep talking to Ngero Katua, just having words with him. As Maharero has entered the game as maybe a defensive midfielder, but Stiga and Ngero are still on the pitch. So Mahero will probably play more forward than usual. Malane just puts it back into the area, but Godwin, Isaac, couldn't put it down. Ambira, good football there from the Brave Warrior. Deacon, Adams, advantage play. It's in the box. Garuka with a very good defensive header against Denzel Nareb. Jomo with pace. He's up against Naftal and he wins the corner. Very good work. Very good work there from Jomo Chiveka.
Yeah, Imsa was saying that boy Yomo, no, he's good and he's such a good super sub. You know, he's a player that comes on and has impact, and we can see that now. He's really been trying to get in into the game, trying to get into the box, and there we have a corner. Awilo takes it. Gero has it. Awilo. Come on, Kambanda, man. Okay, Sticker recovers. ASAP. Lost it. No, sorry, not ASAP. There is Maharero. Oh, wait. Ims, I think I missed that yellow card. Oh, talking back to the ref. Is he on 2 yellow cards already? Oh, Maharero is out and has just was instructed to go off the pitch. So I'm thinking he has to change something, maybe the pants. But we have a two-hand throw. Maharero is back in. Tabang. Maharero. Okay, Young African has the ball. Oh, this game is just becoming more and more dirty. And 4 minutes of additional time. And Ims, we really, really, really need to hold on. Just 4 minutes. 4 minutes of today. That's all we need to beg that 1.5 million.
Mira to take the free kick. Maharero with that header. It has to be a foul because that's a head injury. But yes, indeed, the fourth official has announced 4 minutes left in this MTC Maris Cup final. It is Maharero who has just received a knock at the back of his head. But, ladies and gentlemen, 4 minutes left to $1.5 million. Do not call me for an e-wallet. I do not handle the financial affairs for African Stars. But I can tell you the celebrations will go late into the night. You might still see people on Sunday morning going to church with their African Stars shirts. I'm sure the pastor at your local church will accept that. He will probably be wearing a shirt himself. But 4 minutes until we see our churchgoers going to church with the Red Army t-shirts. And as I say that, we have to, of course, send another apology for the shirts that are soon to be coming. There's still a Dip Marine Premiership title to be won. It's halfway through the season. African Stars have played 11 games with 22 points. Young African, who are second, have played 12 games with 22 points. So the game next week, April 1st, will be African Stars versus Young African. But African Stars, regardless of the result, will still have a game in hand. But wow, if Young African want revenge, it will be to take 3 points in that game if this game ends in a 1-0 victory to African Stars. Lukaku clears it. Level heads now for the Red Army. Stiga, the captain, our captain, running with the ball. He wants to win that $1 million. $1.5 million. Stiga.
Listen, Ims, I think Stiga wants to finish strong because this is his first and final MTC Maris Cup since he's been announcing that few more months. Awilo on the ball. We are in the last 2 minutes of the game. Tabang. Yomo is there. Wasn't it Katwa that? Yeah, no. Katwa was in offside, but Yomo was fine. Honestly, when I grow up, I think I will become a linesman. But in the last two, I think we're in the last minute now of the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are just a few minutes to the 1.5. Yes, as I was saying that Stika is playing his first and final MTC Maris Cup and he definitely wants to win. And he's retiring him.
As you must know, ladies and gentlemen, our captain, Ronald Kechiere, I must say the name correctly, Stiga. This will probably be his last final, as he will be unannounced. I am not going to say that he has announced his retirement, but for a lawyer at his age, football has become his second love. But what a victory, what a moment it will be for him to lift the trophy here at the Dr. Hagigeko Stadium in this MTC Maris Cup final. Seconds left in this game. The Red Army here in attendance are already cheering. It's going to be a throw-in to Young African, taken quickly from Denzel Nareb. Naftal will take the second one. He finds Denzel, and Maharero commits the foul. Apparently, a very, very needless foul, as this is a moment to really pay attention to. This is a moment really to pay attention to, as perhaps the last kick of the game, Moses Make, the goalkeeper for Young African, is asking himself, should he join this attack? He is going to join the attack. He's calling Ali Jr. to stand in as a goalkeeper. In your picture now, you can see the goal kicker coming in. It's going to be taken from Naftal. It goes to the back post. It's a header. It might be a corner. It is. This is ultimately the last kick of the game. This is it. Garuka is shouting at his players, let's hold on. Let's hold on. It's going to be taken from Naftal, the right back. This is very edgy moments. It's to the back post. It's over the crossbar. And that is the game. African Stars are the MTC Maris champions. $1.5 million in the bank account. We told you we were going to do it, and we did it. Thank you, Willis Stefanis. Thank you for your shot outside of the box. Thank you for giving us $1.5 million. Don't call me for an e-wallet, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Wow, we will have post interviews. We might go live, so stay tuned on the YouTube channel. We might go live as we go down to the pitch. But my goodness, that's money in our pockets. The dynasty stays intact with the greatest team in Namibia, African Stars. Thank you for joining us. I'm Emmanuel Nkora. I was joined in the second half by Benji. The game ends in this MTC Maris Cup final. African Stars won. Young African, no. Cheers. We'll see you on the 1st of April.